We are live, Mark. How are you doing,
We
buddy?
really are, yes. No big bang boom music. It's just kind of low key grassroots.
Well, we're going to come back to that. We'll just,
I I know. I'm teasing.
yeah. So here we are. We'll be right back. There we go. We got a little fanfare
Oh
going.
yeah, man. It woke me up.
There
Woke
we
me up.
go. There you go. Hey, elevate your profits. Our whole platform is just bringing people in and what it takes to increase your profits. And we're not just talking about what goes in the bank account, but in business, but
Right.
from our mental profits. Thinking, improving our lives, and
Right.
how long we've been doing this, Mark?
I
Now,
don't know. I got to think about it. Is it close to 2 years or
pretty much, pretty
my
much.
goodness, time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today we don't have a guest, but we do have some guests coming in now that we're moving into fall. People got their
Sure.
kids back to
Right.
school and organize a little bit, so their lives are. I don't know if there's anything called normal in life anymore, but so what is up with Mark? I know you've been doing some road stuff
Oh
on.
boy. Well, let's see. Amongst doing this and doing what I do every day, day in and day out, 5 days a week, made my third road trip to a football game, North Carolina, up around Greensboro. Thank goodness I get a reprieve this weekend. I don't have to travel anywhere. So that's 5 hours of fun. And from metro Atlanta, and once you get into a certain state, South Carolina, man, there's a lot of various road construction, not as bad as it used to be 2 or 3 years ago, but still not a lot of fun. But once you get up around Charlotte, not too bad. And then, I'm closer to Greensboro and roads are pretty decent, but people drive like maniacs. One thing I want to say, I'm glad I'm off the road. It is amazing how people will not use a left or right turn signal to indicate they're going to do a lane change or whatever, and it just amazes me. But that's what we got going on out there today. There's some road rage too.
Yeah, no,
Scary
Mark.
stuff.
We live in a culture today, and especially the last couple of years, people have been put under a lot of different stress for a lot of
Sure,
different reasons.
sure.
Whether it be the virus thing, their businesses have been affected by it. Um, People have got, in my opinion, got way too much stuff on their plates. Between their businesses or their careers and their families and
Right,
all those obligations. And unfortunately, I think this is causing a lot of anxiety and stress.
right.
And how do we manage that? Is there's a lot of different ways. We're not going to get in that tonight,
No,
but but we see it, and hopefully that we're not doing the same thing back to what we're seeing. I think that's equally as important too. That people are distracted or they're driving down the road texting.
oh my. I won't tell you how many of those I saw.
Yeah,
It's
and
amazing.
unfortunately, that's worse than being under the influence of alcohol. Actually,
Yeah,
the response time and those type of things. If you're on a device, you're really being distracted. And I think a lot of these accidents we have out there is because people are, you know, playing with their devices instead of
sure.
focusing on the road. But we can talk all day about that, right?
Oh my. Well, living in Metro Atlanta, I can just tell you, even around Peachtree Corners, man, you see people all the time picking up this bad boy and scrolling and doing this. It's hilarious, you know. It's
Yeah,
fun. It to me it's funny, but it's not funny. It just amazes me how they think they can drive a car, go, you know, and it's 35 miles and they're doing 50. You know, it's 50 miles they're doing 70. And on the interstate, we had people doing 80 plus. So, you know, if that's how you want to roll, that's okay. But, you know, we did
yeah,
have to take a sidebar on the way back home because there was an accident. And, you know, if you've ever been in one, which I have, and 3 operations later, um, it's not fun, you know.
yeah. Well, before we get into our topic today that we talked about this morning, I just want to put this question up here. I think, what are you grateful for today? I think that brings maybe some of that anxiety, the frustrations down,
Right.
and I think I use that in my
Oh,
personal development coaching and stuff is gratitude. So
yeah.
what are you grateful for today, Mark?
Well, I'm grateful, and this goes back to Saturday, that I had a flat tire, believe it or not. It happened during the course of the game. Very grateful that it happened on the campus, and AAA came to the rescue and took care of biz. But I thought about it. I'm like, man, what would I have done if I'm on the side of the road on the highway, or you know? So I was very grateful, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, yeah, and I was very grateful that the gentleman that came, obviously we're going to get a new tire, but the guy that came just said, hey, this will get you home, which we got home. So yeah, I'm very grateful, and always, you know, we didn't and weren't involved in an accident or anything of that nature. But
yeah,
um, it's like I said, you know, count your blessings, man, because I need a break from I-85. I'll put it to you that way, because I know it like the back of my hand. You know, it's insane, you know, what people do, and there's still road construction, and they
yeah.
won't adhere to speed limits, or you know, they'll just do what they think's best. Kind of crazy stuff out there.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. I'm really grateful today for having another day of being on this earth and
Yeah,
serve.
man. Yeah,
We many times we take things for granted, no matter what I call the environment around you, whether good or bad or whatever. But being in a place, this moment right now, Mark, is the most precious time that I have.
sure.
And because I'm alive, we're having conversations as friends and we're doing this program and we never know who we're going to touch and who we're going to influence.
Right.
I've made a decision years ago that I'm in control based on gratitude, how I operate on a day-to-day basis. It does shift my energy to I'm pretty high energy anyway, right, Mark? You know that, and
Yeah.
but it just when I have my bad days, we all have them, right?
Sure.
Flat tires. I mean, you could walk around the car and kick all the other tires and scream and holler. What type of attitude is that, right?
No, the lady was amazed when I kind of walked up and I started laughing, and she just kind of looked at me like I lost it, and I said, "Do you not understand? I'm here, you know." And she said, "Yeah, you're right. You are. Bad football game and all, but I'm here and I'm healthy and I'm safe and
Yeah,
I'm on level ground, you know, like when they came to change it." And she said, yeah, there was a gentleman. He said, I wish I would have known that was your SUV. I would have tracked you down, because he said in between halftime, my car just kept slowly going down, down, down.
wow.
So, yeah. And I didn't
Well,
even
we were
notice
on the
it.
road at 60, 70 miles an hour, and who knows what happens when a tire blows, right?
Right. I'm just glad it didn't happen then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Mark, let's just talk about I'd like to just talk today a little bit about some of my experiences in marketing and those type of things. I've been in business for myself since 1983, and in the old day, it was just strictly
Man, that's ancient, you know.
real door knocking, right? Real door knocking,
Hey,
real phone calls.
That's a question if anybody's listening to this, casually, or if you share it out, that ought to be brought up. Like, how many back in the day had to knock on doors? I mean, physically knock on doors. And that's a very humbling experience, to say the least. Uh, if anybody's ever done it, it's some wild stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
I look back at that, and I look at today's technology, and I get amazed. How did we do it? But it's you do what you need to do based on the resources you have.
Sure, sure.
And that teaches you a lot in itself, the perseverance to get out. And when I was in the financial service industry, of course I did networking meetings and chamber meetings and all that. Those are still going on today, but a
Right,
lot of what we did in the day was direct mail. Send out a letter, or a referral letter, or some sort
right,
of marketing piece, then hope that they called you, right?
right.
Or they responded and came to an event that you were. I did a lot of educational marketing and seminars in my financial services industry. So I did some of the old school knocking on doors, going to the network events, and
Right.
talking to business owners, walking in and say, I may have a solution for helping you build a net worth in your business. How are you protecting your business from the loss of a key employee, or whatever the case may be? What do you do
Right.
about your retirement? You just had to get out there and put your face out in front of people.
Sure.
And back in the day, I think they were even more receptive because they didn't have any other way to really screen you, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
I
Oh,
remember.
here's, I don't mean to interrupt you. We got two cast of characters here. Robert Brooker, he was number one. Hey, what's up, Robert? And look at that. Happy Monday, fun day. Eric Bam, once again, we want pizza. I can hear him chanting it, all the way from Peachtree Corners. We want pizza, Eric.
Man,
Thank you for being here, guys.
yeah, thanks a lot. So we have to look at what has worked in the past, and many of those things still work today. You
Right.
know, but I'm grateful. Number one, that through you, I was introduced to Grow Live Academy, which led me to a lot of the things I'm using my business. I'm always trying to find better ways, more cost-effective ways. How can I differentiate myself in my business? How do I get through the chatter? Because if you're in financial services or real estate, insurance, cars, selling coaching, whatever, there's a lot of people in those spaces. And in reality, many times we're doing exactly the same thing that somebody else is going to do, but why you? How do you differentiate yourself? How do you get that? Somebody says, you know what, maybe I should respond to that email, or maybe I should respond to an
Right.
email, or respond to a direct marketing piece. So, so it's through this platform. Over the last couple of years, I've been introduced to through some very significant business people out there that use these resources. So I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. If it's working for somebody else and it makes sense for my business, it works within my financial budget, why not give it a try? Because many times, things have changed, how we conduct business.
Right.
So today I'm going to talk about two areas. The first one is an area that most people don't recognize how powerful this marketing is direct mail. And if it didn't work, you wouldn't have any junk mail in your mailbox every day, right? You go out there, you're getting everything from your healthcare provider. You're getting invites from insurance people to come to a seminar. You're getting direct mail every day. Big posters. Why vote for XYZ person? It's renewal time for your Medicare. Every day we're getting direct mail. Now, what's our behavior? How do we respond to it, Mark? How do you respond to your junk mail? I call it junk mail, but it's not really junk mail.
To be truthful, if I don't know it, it doesn't really catch my eye. It gets deleted, you know.
Yeah.
Some of it goes automatic, you know, or I just delete all of it, you know, depending on what it is. I'm being truthful.
Yeah, I'm
As-
talking about direct mail. When you open your
oh,
mailbox,
oh, my
physical
mail
mail. We'll talk about
depends. That also depends what it is. If it's for political, you know, now that we're getting close to that, you know, it goes in a special file called File 13, you know, depending on what it is. Now, if it's something addressed to me and it's, you know, might be business related, or it might be, hey, you um, can help you save insurance on, you know, I might take another look at it. But, you know, to whom it may concern, those type of things, I pretty much say goodbye to it, you know, because if it's just generic junk mail, or I should say clutter, that always seems to wind up bills and that type of mail. You know, they hit the mailbox. You know,
I'll just share with you why direct mail works. They wouldn't be spending these companies. Big
sure,
companies use it because they know this, that if they continue dropping something in your mail relative to mark, based on age, demographics,
oh
where
yeah,
you live, all that, you may not need the service today, but you see it every week or every month on they're coming out there. And when you have the need, you have been initiated on,
sure,
maybe I should contact, this is local United Healthcare. I'm in need of reevaluating my insurance. So we never know. Direct mail works and it's targeted. And a lot of, if you're an insurance person, direct mail is a great resource, or a real estate person, because it gets you in front of an audience that you normally couldn't get into. But the biggest problem with direct mail, number one, it's very costly, other than what I'm going to share today, because guess what? You got to create content. You have to have graphics. You have to have some artwork. You have to, and that costs, many times costs money. You're going to have those cards printed. You're going to have a list that those go, you're going to have to pay for the postage. And usually those platforms of direct mail, you need a minimum 500 to 1,000 pieces for them to send it out. Well, guess what? Most small business people would love to be able to differentiate it, but it's not in their budget. And direct mail works. And especially if you have to open something and it's directly personalized to you, it's very unique. You will get a different response based on how you package that direct mail. A postcard, we get them all the time, right? This is a postcard, a two-sided postcard type thing.
right.
It says resident. But if it had something with my name across the front, personalized, that's a little different, right? I'm just a resident, right? So, but let's talk about, it's very effective. So if you're a business person and you have a very targeted market, you have a database, how do we contact them? Well, we can send letters by mail. We could send cards. We could send postcards. We can send all these things. They take resources. What if you can do those type of things where you can target off direct mail one-offs? Let's say, Mark, you're my ideal customer. I've sent you emails. I've left voice messages. I have done everything else, but I'm not differentiating myself. And I want your attention. I want that phone call to come back to me.
Right.
So Mark is my ideal customer. He fits all the profile. You know your service, whatever it is, but you're not getting through a gatekeeper, or you're not getting his personal attention, because guess what? When you go to your mailbox every day, you're sorting out and you only look at those things that are
Right.
relative to a level of interest that you may have that day or in that period of time, right? But this is what direct mail marketers know, that
Hey,
they'll piece of mail that you get stays in a pile on your desk or in your wherever you put your mail every day for an average of 13 days.
Yep.
Even though it's not relevant. Why do we do that? There's psychological reasons that we do that. Well, maybe.
You might miss something there, you know.
Exactly. I'll get to it. Maybe I'll read it a
Hey,
little bit further.
speaking about marketing, you know, we have cards that, wow, Kellen is joined us here, so that's kind of neat.
Hey,
And she could probably hone in on. Yeah, she said, "Happy Monday, gentlemen." Kellen Ann could talk about what she's doing with her cards. That wow.
yeah,
So
Kellen takes it to that real personalized,
right,
handcrafted differentiation, and that's part of what I'm going to talk about. There's different levels how you
sure,
differentiate. He does a beautiful job, handcrafted cards, customized, and she's built relationships, but she's trying to earn earn their business, right? I mean, that's what we're out
right,
there to do. Uh,
absolutely.
and if you got something very special, what's the chances of you saying thank you, if nothing else?
Oh, absolutely.
That changes the dialogue. When somebody, you go out of your way on a personal basis to send something in business. Was taught this years ago, Mark, and the same as you. How many people sit down and write a personal thank you note
Right,
after they meet somebody, whether it be online, a networking event, or they've done business with you? Our intentions are really good, but guess what? That takes a discipline. It takes a budget of time. It takes a budget of money. And guess what? 98% of the time, people have the intention to send a thank you card. It was nice meeting you, but they never get around to it.
right,
What if you had something that was automated, that was personalized? The signature looked just like yours, it looked like your handwriting. You could do all that. And then it's automated. So I meet you, Mark, at a networking event. I got your card. The first thing I do is I put your data into and I send you a thank you card. Hey, it was nice meeting you, Mark. I'd sure like to have an opportunity to find out more about your business. Not about your business, right? It's what you say.
right, right,
That differentiates you from 95% of people in business and in sales, that you took the time to send something personalized to them. Now, what's the ROI? A card may cost you, I tell you what. So let's say Kellen, I'm using Kellen as an example here, and I want to have cards personalized to me, my brand, that are personalized, that are glitzy and they're beautiful. So when you open up, you go, wow, because that's right, her cards, wow, yeah.
right,
Guess what I've done with that client? I've differentiated myself from everybody else. And that conversation can go in the direction you desire it to go based on the
sure,
relationship with it. That is a real high end. But I always look at, let's say, Mark, you're my ideal client. I want to sell you personal coaching. And and I know that the type of client I'm searching, if you become a client of mine, is a $10,000 coaching contract. Okay, pretty high ticket thing.
sure,
But what am I willing to invest to earn the right to have a conversation with you? Would I be willing to send you a nice personal card that, I met you at a network and a chamber meeting, saying, hey, Mark, it was really nice meeting you. Let's stay in touch. Maybe let's get to cover coffee, something crafty, something nice. And guess what? You've differentiated yourself. Now,
right,
the next time I meet you, I want to up the game a little bit. So now I sent out another card on your birthday. Let's say I gather the date on your birthday and I send you a brownie. Say, hey, happy birthday. You're a special guy, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy the brownie. Or maybe a trinket of some sort of value, not okay.
right,
Or I just continue communicating with that direct mail, something you have to open. Now, postcards, they're glanced at. If it doesn't catch your attention, they get stacked away. But if you get a envelope with your name on it, something that's unique, different on the envelope, I'll share some stuff here with you in a moment. You're now getting you're going to get 100% open rate in your communications. And then what you have on the inside takes it another level. So now I've built this relationship. I'm differentiating myself by putting something in your mailbox that you have to open up. So I work this process, a postcard, a 5x7 card, a little gift on your birthday or whatever the case may be. And then suddenly, between my email that I'm sending you, my video email, my voicemail messaging, everything ties together. I'm not just isolating. These all work together. And I've said, hey, Mark, there's something big on its way in the mail. Look for it. I left a voice message or I left an email. So guess what happens? 3 days later, you get an 8.5 by 11 card with your name on it, and it says bigger things are coming your way. So I primed you through a number of steps with direct mail, using some video, using email, and using text. What's the chances this person's going to open this up and take it seriously? Now they open it up, and there's an 8.5 by 11 personalized marketing piece targeted to them, what you do, the solutions you offer. You can be as creative as you want.
Right.
And they open it up. You've got their attention because the envelope is different than anything they've ever seen. It's big, right? You prime them. So you've primed them that they're getting something big in the mail. They got exactly something. How many times have you ever got an 8.5 by 11 card?
Rarely, if any.
Very rarely. So now I got your attention. You're going to look at the content. You're going to, a call to actions there. Let me ask you this, Mark. If you were doing direct mail, I'm going to break this down so people understand what I'm talking about, mailbox power, how inexpensive it is. So let's say you have a marketing piece and you're targeting a very specific niche, like what I'm doing in the ASEA, targeting health practitioners. Very targeted messaging. What would it cost me to do a direct mail campaign to create an 8.5 by 11 four-sided, glossy, nice quality paper and printing? What do you think it would cost to have a minimum run printed so you can send them out? What do you think it would cost?
You mean for one brochure like that?
Because you're going to have to have many made. You're talking about $6 to $7 a piece.
Dollars, yeah, I was going to say.
And that's
depending on what you do, it could be even more than $6,
Exactly. Yeah. The amount, so you're looking at, plus now you got the postage on top of it.
Yep.
So that in the first, and you got to have a minimum in a direct mail of 500, 250 to 500 minimums. Now you're looking at a $3,000 to $5,000 marketing campaign, which most business people, small businesses, that's a pretty big hunk in their marketing budget. So they don't do it. But what if you could do this one-off? And this card only costs you $3.60 plus postage of maybe 90 cents or $1, whatever it costs, to get that phone to ring. One-off. You don't have to have a print run of 250 or 500 or 1,000.
Right.
Now you're playing with the big boys. Now you're in the same league. You're differentiating. I guarantee you this gets opened. Depending how you position it in your marketing, the direct mail with mailbox power is a platform that allows you to play at the level the big boys do, even puts more personalization, more differentiation than you can get in any other platform in direct mail. For example, if you knew that postcards work, that you got a targeted, you want to invite people to a seminar or workshop or a grand opening at your store or whatever you've got, a postcard's going to get somebody's attention in your neighborhood, right? You're targeted.
Absolutely.
Well, again, what's it going to cost you to make a 4x6 postcard plus postage? You have to have minimum runs. Here you can do one-offs or you can do batches. And what would that mean to you if you had unlimited cards, 4x6 cards, and all you had to do is pay for postage? What would that? That's a pretty big deal. That's a big savings. So if you're doing seminars and workshops and you got maybe a grand opening or you got a special promotion in your store, you got maybe a pizza special that you want to run to your demographics in your neighborhood, come down on Thursday nights. We got a special pizza deal. It's targeted, and all you paid is the postage.
Right.
Your ROI is pretty high, right? So using direct mail and the platform and the training that Mailbox Power offers is unparalleled. And what it costs is this. I think it's $59 a month. You get 50 5x7 enveloped cards in an envelope. And it could be your personal brand. It could be something creative. You put all the information in and it automatically kicks it out and sends it out. So what's the cost of having 50, even at like Kellen's cards? What would it cost to have her make 50 of those for you to differentiate yourself? It could be a pretty big price tag, right?
Absolutely.
Well, what if you just went down to your Hallmark store and got some nice, very nice thank you cards? What would a box of those cost you plus postage? As you look at these 5x7 cards, you go buy a thank you card or a birthday card. What is it? $4.95, $5.95, $6.95 a card?
Yeah, they're not cheap.
What if you had 50 of them that you can send out on somebody's birthday, and all you paid for is postage? Now you're differentiating yourself. You're staying in front of your customer in a different way. So direct mail, Mailbox Power, I've been using it now predominantly to build, when we have a guest on, Mark, what do I send out? When we became Grow Live Academy, what did Ken Wall send us?
The infamous mugs. Yeah.
Now,
pretty cool.
Yeah. So what does that do? We're always top of mind in Ken's, right? We've subscribed to his service. We've used his service, but used his platform for training. That's why we're here doing live streaming. But now I'm top of mind. Ken is top of mind every day. And guess what? I now know, I just referred somebody to Ken that she became a Grow Live Academy. I says, you need to look at live streaming. I would probably forgot to make that introduction if I didn't have this in front of me on a regular basis. If you as a business person have your brand in front of your customer that you've won as a business and you're on top of mind, they will remember you. I know Mary Joan needs insurance. You refer them, make that introduction. This is top of mind. Now, we spent some pretty good money to become his graduate, right? So he's wrecking it. Thank you very much. What does this cost? If you had to go have a customized branded cooler, these keep hot water and cold water or fluids very cold for a long time.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
These are great. What is it to reward a high ROI client to be top of mind, to create the phone to ring? Would you willing to spend $17, $18, $20 on a one-off to earn the opportunity to have a conversation? Absolutely, I'll do it all day long. Then it's my side of the fence taking responsibility. Can I convey the message strong enough to earn their business. But now I'm top of mind. Now I've earned you. Every one of our guests get one of our mugs or a coffee mug that says elevate your profits. You're making a difference in the world. That puts us top of mind. Put yourself as a business person is what are you doing to recognize your existing customers?
Can I jump in here real quick? Before you got into all this, this is kind of wild how minds think similar and think alike. Robert says, it seems that almost all the direct mail I used to get became email, the grocery store flyer, Shoppers, Drug Mart, Canadian Tire. Yeah, that's right. He is from Canada. Oh, Canada. And then McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes, A&W, Swiss, Chalet, and are my favorite places. And then later on, he says what you're talking about. There is that company called Mailbox Power. That was at the 621 mark before you got into all this. We'll put your logo, name, and almost anything and ship it out for you. Birthdays, anniversaries, and things can be programmed in for you. So that's kind of cool.
And Mark, you can craft your own brand, your own thing. When I'm going to share what I do because it differentiates yourself. It builds relationships differently. I went to that event down to Ramy El Batwari's, right? He wrote the book, Can You Really Think and Grow Rich? Part of the Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich. And so I went there and I wanted to thank him. Instead of just, send him a hey, thanks. You did a great job.
Sure.
You put the music on the band for us and you were awesome and all that stuff we can do in an email or a video or whatever the case may be. But this is what I did. I'm going to show you what I created in Mailbox Power. And I'll show you that. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me get it up. And ask yourself, is this differentiation? So knowing that he's making a difference in the world, I sent him a personalized, it only took me 10 minutes to put it together. I didn't have to buy an inventory of 25 of them. Just did one. So I'm going to share this. I hope people can see that.
Let's see what we got here. Well, let's
see if I can make it a little bit bigger.
Yeah, a little small.
There, that's a little bit bigger. So now here's this mug. I took Ramy's book. I took the picture out of the Amazon and I overlaid it on a Think and Grow Rich. Put those together right inside Mailbox Power. Put the little frame, just clicked on something, a little frame, pick the color. And on the back side, it says, Ramy, you're making a difference in the world. I sent it to him. Guess what happens by doing that? He responded back to me. He says, anything I can help you with, let me know. A billionaire. Now when Tom Ginn does an email or makes a phone call or wants to introduce something, he will remember Tom Ginn because I went out of my way to do something totally unique. This is a one-off. This is the power of Mailbox Power. That makes sense, Mark?
Oh, absolutely.
And he responded back to me in a way that was unbelievable. He could have just discounted Tom Ginn just with an email or a video, right? But I went out of my way to thank him for what he provided at that 2-day event. And every morning now, if he puts coffee in there or his drink, Tom Ginn comes at the forethought of his mind. That's psychological selling.
Right.
But it's coming from a place of sincerity, not manipulation.
Right.
Those are the really important things that what Mailbox Power does. So you can use this platform to be as creative as you want. I've got a card that I send out to people that's, somebody, we all have a chicken list, right, Mark? And I send out a card to somebody I've been wanting to contact, but we all have. Even though I've been in sales since 1983, we still sometimes have that. Oh God! So I got a card. It comes in there, one of their templates. It says, "I've been meaning to call you. You've been on my chicken list." And when you when you get the card out of the envelope, there's a big chicken there. It said, you're on my chicken list, and it caused you to open it up. Put some humor into your marketing. Guess how many times I get phone calls off of that? Nearly 9 out of 10.
Sure.
Creativity, top of mind, humor. So this platform, Mailbox Power, in my opinion, for doing some targeted things. Let's say you're a service person. Let's say you do a lawn care, or you're a roofer, or whatever the case is, and you've done a job. How many times you go in a neighborhood, somebody's a roofer or a landscaper puts their sign up?
Right.
And what does that cost to have one of those little signs in a wire thing cost? 15, 18 bucks. And they put them all over the neighborhood, hoping somebody will call them to do their roof or do their landscape or do their siding or whatever the case may be. What if you could do the same thing and send out a very unique card, spend $3 or no cost but postage to your target market? This allows you to target your audience around an address, a demographic, whatever, automated.
Right.
What's that worth to you? You got a database, you just upload it, and you can send out the birthday cards, your promotions, out to your market. Hey, I got a workshop, we got a grand opening, we got a special sale. You can just send those out and just pay postage. A 4x6 card, pay postage. You can't get a better exposure to what you're doing because it comes in the mail. So
Robert's kind of funny here. He said brownies rule. And he's got another comment that I wonder what happened if I sent a postcard to each person on the friends list here once a month. That's a lot of postcards. And he said, it makes me wish I had a secret identity in business in the U.S. I keep forgetting he is in Canada, and maybe I do. And it would, where are we at here? It would also be the secret from me in that case,
Love Robert.
Yeah. When the bank hints that here he came right back, they think I may have revenue outside of Canada. It makes me wonder if I do. Oh my. Oh.
So why direct mail? It differentiates you. It's cost effective over traditional direct mail. If the big boys you're using, you can play in the same arena as they do, and it works within your budget. What's the value of an existing customer? To retain them,
right?
To get the repeat business, that with a push of a button, they get a notification.
You know what, Tom? You're singing my song here because, and I don't mean to get political, but you turn the TV on and there's news networks and there's this and there's that and they're screaming for ratings. Just think if they did this, particularly those parties that are out there that want your vote. Man, wouldn't that be awesome? They'd be sending mugs and brownies, and it'd be kind of a different approach. I'm kidding, but they have a tendency to call you up around a certain time of the year. There's like midterms, and then there's another thing called an election, and then you have local and city, state, and it's hilarious, You were talking about mail. That mail amuses me because they never ask you after an election how you're doing out there.
Yeah. So here's an example of a templated card. I went in and changed the verbiage and put my own personal stuff in there. Just put the merge stuff in there, and then it has a picture of me on the back with all my contact information. And when I send these out to a targeted person, I don't pay anything for the card, just pay for the postage, 50 of them. Then you've got a marketing piece. You can have they have they have templated for industries, or you can create your own.
Right.
You can take your artwork and load it up there, and it does it for you. And unlimited 4x6 cards with your marketing message and everything else, and it goes out to your prospect or existing customer. Very cost effective.
Yeah.
So that's what, and guess what? I always like to let people know, what would you like to get free marketing? Have all your marketing costs, your base cost paid for in marketing. Would that make sense as well?
Yep.
I don't pay for any of my marketing, Mark. All I do is share it with other business people. Say, here's a resource that I use. I encourage you to look at it. And here's the link. And a full disclosure, this is not my business. Some people are making a very good living promoting this affiliate. It's an affiliate program. It's not network marketing. An affiliate program is a product or service you recommend it to somebody else. They pay you for that referral if they subscribe. Well, I get a check every month for everybody that has subscribed to this service. Now, I can make a business out of it, but that's not the direction I want to go. But it's nice knowing that I've helped another business person understand the power of direct mail. If they subscribe every month, I get a check. Plus, I get a little commission if they order a mug or a cooler. That this is one I send out to my people that come on my live stream, Own Your Own Health. If you were this person sending this out, I get a little commission on this little piece of thing going, maybe 30 cents, not big, but if somebody's putting out 20, 30 of them, it all adds up. Yeah. So it's an affiliate marketing program. Hey, how many business people out there could share this with 5, 6 of their business friends or colleagues or their own sales team, integrate this in their marketing strategy, increase their revenues, and get paid back based on that affiliate relationship? That's a pretty cool deal, right?
Yeah, it is.
And if I want to go outside of that budget, that's what I do. It's okay, great. I can afford to spend X on this marketing campaign. And I will be using this fall at our wellness center, or my wife and I have a wellness center, is promoting our educational workshops, which will generate people coming to the workshops, introducing our products and services. That will then generate a new client relationship, becomes a revenue generator. And so I'll spend 30, 50, 60, $80 to get a targeted audience to my workshops and get 10 or 12 people. And my conversion rate's about 80%. That'll generate $2,000 to $3,000 of income. That makes a lot of sense. And I only invested $60. Not a bad return on investment. So anybody that's out there is not using direct mail, not familiar, this is the best platform I've ever seen for direct mail. There's other companies out there do similar, but no one like this platform. It was introduced through Ken Walls. Right? So it sure was. And I've been using it for over 2 years now. And now I'm ramping up my marketing using this platform. So that's, I believe, differentiates you in a very unique way. You want to be seen, you want to be heard. Send somebody a 8.5 by 11 personalized card to them. It's going to get open. Now it's your responsibility to make sure you have a good call to action, you have a good message, and then you have because you ask them to call, right, or join a website. You put your QR code on there, right?
Right.
And next thing you know, they're registered to a workshop. Okay, so it works,
right?
And that's the reason I just want to get this out here, because it's differentiation, very cost effective. And we're talking that small business guy that doesn't have a $10,000 a month marketing budget. You may have a $200 budget or $50 budget.
And that's roughly what, $60, correct? That's what
and you get the 50 free 5x7 cards. You just pay for postage, unlimited postcard, anything above and beyond there. What would it cost for you to have these mugs? You'd have to have a batch of them. You have to warehouse them. You have to send them. You'd you'd have to order a case of them, 24 at a time, whatever it is. I do them one-offs, 12, $15.
And the $60, is that monthly,
That's a
annually?
monthly to have access. You know, use the resource. You've got 50 people you can send marketing information to. What does it send? What's it cost to send a 5x7 card? I don't know what's posted. I don't even pay attention.
I
52
know.
cents.
Too much. Of course, how fast does it move? I mean, I'm talking about postal system. That's another subject
That's
matter.
a whole different
Yeah.
conversation, but it works, Mark. That's
No, no, I'm not saying it doesn't. No,
yeah.
not in the least. Robert now sent us a novel of the ETH 2.0 merge became rather more interesting as it throws stability to the wind for a little while. Wow, he's coming at us now. He said that one is for later, and it's a bit much to get into. I can only imagine, Robert, with you out there. He's really diving deep into some stuff here, but now I think what you shared is good, and there are a lot of mid and small business owners that, by all means, they should do this.
If you're a sole proprietor, if you're in sales of any sort,
Right.
this needs to be your own personal marketing strategy. Don't rely on your company to do it for you. You can you can rock your organization's, increase your call
Right.
rate, your appointment rate, your sales rate. If and here's the thing about different types of marketing. It generally takes, depending on what industry, I would say generally a sales cycle from that initial contact to developing through may take 90 to 120 days, 7 to 12 touches. These are real numbers depending what you sell. But what if you can collapse that time frame in your marketing by 50%?
Right.
This would do it.
Yeah.
What's the value of your time?
Amen to
I want
that.
conversations. I want my phone to ring. And then see if we have a relationship that can be built, to see if we are compatible to become with my product and or service, or vice versa. It's many times people want to say, hey, I got something you should look at, and I'm open.
And Robert earlier said, I feel like I'm surrounded by crypto hex, to be specific. Thank you, Mark and Tom.
All right. So that's mailbox power. And if you want to learn about it, where's my link here? You can go to this resource here, Money Tools I Use. There's a link about mailbox power. You can go to it. You can see all the marketing information, how to use it, all that type of stuff, pricing, everything else. If you subscribe, full disclosure, thank you in advance. Okay. It buys me coffee monthly, pays for some of my marketing or all my marketing. So I want to thank you in advance. The next one I want to talk about, Mark, I think everybody is using email to one degree or another, right?
Sure. Absolutely.
Tell me about how you open your email daily. What is your behavior? How do you look at your email when you go to, because we need to be in our email.
Right.
How do you handle your email that comes to you?
Well, there's the junk portion of it, which pretty much gets deleted. And then my inbox, if it's something that can help me, I'll take a look at it. If it isn't, or it might be able to help a customer, I'll take a look at it. Not just me, but if it's really not relevant to me and the industry I'm in, I don't even bother with it, because I've been getting some of this about, I don't even know how this company got my email address, but it's about legal things. It's about, it's pretty deep, and I'm like, man, I don't have time to read all this. And
Mark, you're in somebody's database somewhere,
right.
and something in your profile is you might be an ideal customer for them. So
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but anyway, and that's what they're talking about, like anywhere from tax liens to, I mean, it's pretty in-depth stuff.
yeah,
And, it might be more applicable to my son who's in the accounting realm,
yeah.
um, but yeah, I mean,
Let's
things
talk
of
about
that
email here
nature,
for a second. There's two
I
types of
just forget
email.
about it.
There's two types of email. That's the one that comes out of your personal email. That gets a higher open rate because you have a relationship with somebody. They recognize it's Mark
Sure.
Gasser. Mark wants to talk to me. He has me some information. Maybe he wants to invite me to the football game. Maybe he wants to take me up to North Carolina to watch a game or whatever. So you have that type of email. You get a different open rate there. Then you have your email is generated from a CRM, some sort of email marketing platform, and that gets a whole different open rate.
Right.
The key is,
If it gets through, because now you got to deal with all those filters that are out
but
there.
just understand this: any email open rates are 11%. Does that mean they're reading it? No.
No.
Only 50% of that is getting any attention. And this is what I do when I get up, when I start my day. I look at my text messages. Do I have anything that's urgent? Somebody's trying to reach out to me, schedule an appointment or whatever.
Right.
I go to my email and I look and I see what's relative to me today. Is somebody following up to one of my emails, or is it something comes that is not relevant to what I'm doing, and it's either deleted or put into a starred folder? I'll get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the behavior we all go through one way or another. Is it relevant to me and relevant to what I'm doing today? That gets first attention. But here's the thing: people aren't reading content anymore. But here's the thing: if you can have an email that has a video in it, that doesn't take video production, that I'm sending Mark an email and I click on this little icon and I say, hey, Mark, it was a pleasure meeting you at the network event. Hey, let's get together for coffee. Schedule on my calendar below, and you're done in 30 seconds. But it's what you put in the subject line is the key in any communication. Hey, Mark, a personal video to you. You're going to open it up 90% of the time, Mark, just because it's a personal video to you. No matter, it's not, hey, it was great to meet you, a personal video for you. Curiosity, when you open it up and then there's Tom Ginn's face right there, click, and I say, hey, Mark, I enjoyed our conversation at a network event. Let's get together. I like to collaborate with you. How can I, whatever your message is,
right?
Get a marketing message to that person in less than 30 seconds. That if you had to, I'm talking from my experience, my ability. I'm ADHD, and my English grammar is not the best, especially when I have to craft a sentence. That wasn't my forte in school. Okay. How long does it take somebody to craft a meaningful email, not a crafted, templated thing? Those are different types. But I want to craft some information, a call to action, verbalize what I experienced in our first contact. How long does that take? It takes me a half hour. And I want to send 10 of those out a day. That is what, 5 hours of crafting. I can allocate, say, hey, Mark, put your email in, hit the record button and dub. Say, Mark, it was a pleasure meeting yesterday or earlier today. Let's get together. I want to still continue that conversation. In 30 seconds, they're going to respond to that quicker than reading the content. You're differentiated. Keep in mind, sales and business is still personal relationship. Technologies allows us to nearly communicate at the same level, once we get used to it, at the same level as if we were sitting across a coffee shop. Right? So This is what you'll find out. Dub is the best platform I've seen out there because you can generate it out of your personal email. You can generate it out of your CRM email. You can put that video in your newsletter without a whole bunch of different platforms. If you're in business and you're using LinkedIn as a place to find your, that's a resource. It's the most used place now for identifying who your ideal client is.
Right.
And say I find Mark, you're my profile. Well, guess what most people are doing? Hey, Mark, let's connect. So you hit the connect button, right? And then you type in something, right? Most of it's pitching you. Let's get together. I want to sell you something, right? We talked about that earlier. But what if I did the same thing? Hey, and I put a video that they have to watch. Instead of typing something, there's an icon that says there's a video for you.
Right.
And it say, hey, Mark, I was looking at your profile. Very impressive. I'd like to learn more about your business. What's the chances that person scheduling an appointment with me over the content? Somebody types something in. It took me 15 seconds versus 10 minutes. So I got a lot of things going on. Now I'm building a relationship quicker in my marketing efforts.
Right.
That's a big deal. What if you converted 60% of those to a conversation? That's a big conversion factor in any conversation you have in business. Mark, that's the real number. Video in your LinkedIn is a 60% conversion for a conversation.
Right.
That's how I find guests for my Own Your Own Health. That's how I find new opportunities to present some of the things that you and I are doing. And I'm getting the attention quicker than I've ever done it before. Dub video. It can be used in your Facebook, your LinkedIn. It just integrates. You can do video drip campaign, just like an email drip campaign, series of videos. You can have that right within your carousel. You do that video, it's branded. You got your branded, I got 4 or 5 of them set up for different marketing messages that I want to talk to. So I want to talk to a doctor. I got one set up for my doctor talk. And has all the links directly related. And there's a video that I want them to see from Dr. Silverman, why they should be looking at this technology. Before I was sending out those emails and there was no open rates. If they did open, I have software that tracks did they click on my link.
Right.
Now I know if they opened it, how long they watched the video, did they click on any of the others? And guess what? If they opened up, I'm calling that person. I'm going to put them in my funnel, right? If they clicked on a link, that just heightened my higher level of interest. So having a platform that's easy to use, cost effective, can use in one platform for all your video is Dub. You can do videos, record them and edit them and use them any you want in one platform. If I want to send it out, I just go to my library and send that video out or attach it to a video carousel. So when I get done saying, hey, Mark, it was nice meeting you, Dr. Silverman has something to say to you. And as soon as I get done saying that, Dr. Silverman's video kicks in. And this is the reason Tom wanted to get a hold of you. I'm a doctor and blah, blah, blah. He does his thing. So it's a very dynamic communication tool.
Right.
And you're going to get a higher conversion rate and attention and call to actions with a video in any of your communication. 90% of every email that I put out there, even to my team, to my prospects, I put a video in. Mark, you've got my videos, right?
Yes.
Nothing fancy, right?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. It took me 15 seconds to do it. Now I can create training videos out of it. I can put that stuff in there. I can show them my YouTube channel. I could do all sorts of stuff to bring attention that you wouldn't have got in a traditional email content delivery system. And I've been using video on and off for 7, 8 years, Mark. I started with Bomb Bomb.
Yep. Remember when that came out?
Real estate people use it, and there's a reason it works, right?
Right.
Then through Jeffrey Gitomer, I switched over to Hippo Video, and Jeffrey Gitomer was what? The mouthpiece, the trainer of how to use it, right?
Right.
Guess what Jeffrey's using today in promoting? Dub. It's more powerful, it's less expensive too. And again, this all sounds wonderful, but what does it cost me? It doesn't cost me anything.
Right.
I spend my $39 a month, but I got 10 or 12 people using it. My marketing costs are all covered. I'm making a little pocket change. It's not my gig. Some people are making a business out of this, just sharing this affiliate. It's an affiliate program.
Right.
An affiliate works. This is just a recommendation. This is what I use. Check it out. If you like it and you use it, I get paid monthly. 10, 12 bucks doesn't sound like a lot. But again, managing your time is money and saving money. And if somebody else is paying for my marketing costs, I'm more apt to use it more and more and more and more, right? Because I don't have an economic burden. That's what keeps most people from doing any sort of effective marketing. It's not in their budget.
Right.
How do you change what's in your budget? Get the phone to ring, increase your revenue, make more sales. These two platforms will do both of those. Get the phone to ring. How good you are on the sales side is going to be up to you, right? But the most important thing is what? Having that conversation on the phone or in a Zoom. Invite somebody to a Zoom meeting.
Right.
In that direct mail piece, it always has your direct Zoom address there. So when they jump on and say, hey, jump on my Zoom. And if you're there, boom, you got that notification. You got somebody who wants to talk to you. It's like a phone call, but now you're talking in video.
So we're already at the 7:08 mark here this evening. So Tom was nice enough to share with us what he's doing out there. And I think it's really cool. You know, so if those of you are jumping on here just watching these two old geezers, you know, talk about marketing and sales and video, and we're not supposed to even be talking about all this stuff, but what he does use, and I know for a fact, he uses mailbox power. That's the one item he talked about earlier this evening, as well as Dub, you know, and he uses it pretty religiously. So just food for thought out there. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, we're roughly talking mailbox power a month, $60 if you round it off. And then Dub is somewhere in the neighborhood of, what was it, $32,
$39 a month, you know.
Somewhere, yeah. You know,
and they have an upgrade. If you have a team of people, you can coordinate all your communication, emails with videos, and it's a very powerful platform.
Right.
But on a one-on-one basis, it's by far the most effective video platform I've seen.
There you go.
Instead of having 5 different things to do your videos, it's all in one place.
Right.
It's all in one place.
But I would also add that if you're using something out there of what Tom's talking about, you know, that's what he specifically uses. And they're probably 2 of the primo programs. But if you are still doing something, that's a positive, you know, step in the direction. You know, it could be virtually, you're engaging with potential customers. Could be, you know, video, email. It could be what you were talking about on LinkedIn. Instead of sending a direct message, sending a video and saying, hey, you know.
And do the video right and put in a text message.
Right. Right. And Robert says, I'm on the gotta sell if I want to eat plan for the rest of the month until the 15th of October. Robert, your trip. Robert, you and I need to engage and talk, and I won't get into all that, but you and I have talked last week, so yeah, we need to hook up sometime and talk about some stuff. But this was good stuff. We all need to hear it, and there are people out there tearing it up, doing their thing. And Tom, again, thank you so much for sharing, these two programs, platforms. And yes, Eric Bam, I still want pizza, but
That's what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. I'm going to
yeah,
put,
that sounds good.
yeah. So I'm going to,
But I thought it was good what you talked about.
yeah, it's just differentiation, keeping up the times. Unfortunately, only about 5% of the people out there are using cutting edge technology, and they wonder why they're kicking it. Keep it simple, replicate and duplicate what other people are doing
Right.
that are doing it the right way. You
Right.
can spend a lot of money in marketing.
Oh
I've
yeah.
spent Google ads and I've spent Facebook ads. I've spent all this is been the two best resources I've ever used for my dollars.
Sure. Sure.
Seriously.
Absolutely. Well, Tom, we are now at the 7:12 mark, and
Well, you dancing tonight, Mark? So I'll let you go.
no, not yet. But the good news is that Gina is able to drive now since her foot surgery, so that's a plus. So I'm happy about that, man.
Yeah.
That's a big time plus. And amongst other things, I've still venturing onward here. On Friday, I will share this with you. Friday night lights, right? Because it's football season. But on Friday, this past Friday, it was Pickneyville lights. We were doing baseball. It is amazing. There are a lot of baseball freaks out there that still play fall baseball. And so this weekend, I'll be doing it again. That will probably run to the beginning or mid of November. It just amazes me that some people play baseball year round. You know, Not complaining about it, but I would think they get tired of it and do another sport. Whether it's soccer or football or something. But
Yeah. Well, we want to acknowledge everybody for being here. Thanks a
oh
lot. Share
yeah,
this out. Uh, any questions? Please
Kellen,
don't hesitate to
Robert,
reach out to us.
Eric. I think most of these people are using it, but there might be someone that's catching this on a replay or scrolling with their thumb tomorrow and saying, what in God's name is this all about? But, you need to take a look at these two programs. And again, what Tom talked about was mailbox power. That was the first one, a marketing campaign, which is very reasonable when you're looking at dollars and cents per month. And the other item was communication tool again, dub video. And there are various things you can do with that platform.
Yeah. More
You
than
don't
I
have,
covered here today. So
right.
probably didn't do any justice there. So
But you need to look at them. And if you're already doing something, that's cool too.
yeah.
And there you go.
So Mark, do we have any announcements? We got. See, I'm gonna
Well,
look
let's
real
see.
quick.
Coming up in are we in October yet?
It'll be here quicker than realize, my friend.
Right.
We have no guests coming in. Today is the 19th.
Well, that may not be true. There might be someone, then we need to get them on here. So
Okay.
they're doing a project, and I don't want to mention names, but we need to get them on here, and they can elaborate as to what they've been doing. And it's a good thing what they're doing, to be truthful.
Then
So,
on October 3rd, Kathy, my wife, is and her business partner out of Colorado. They come together through relationship through their industry.
right.
They had same ideas. They've collaborated and they created a new business. So they're
Cool.
going to talk about from concept to business and filling that need and how that's going. Is that anybody out there? We all have good ideas. How can you collaborate? Somebody has the same idea and create a business with it.
Yep.
And so Kathy and Suzanne Ecker will be coming in, talking about what they're doing, and it'll give you maybe some ideas and some things that
Right.
you may want to incorporate in what you're doing. Just starting a new business around your talent and your skills and value that they take. They're creating something very significant. We'll leave that as a surprise.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So, and it's also around her book too. So,
yeah. Robert said, yes, I forgot about the driver's license renewal and ownership, and that means the fine must be paid first. Wow, Robert, you'll have to explain that to us sometime. But yeah, man, he's on a roll tonight.
all right.
My Canadian friend, Robert Brooker, you are the man, the deep thinker you are.
Yeah.
But Eric Bam, thank you for being here. Kellen, thank you for being
Ellen,
here.
you're awesome. You understand the power of the card, the wow.
Yeah, she does.
She takes it to the next level.
And she happens to live in Georgia. And
Yes.
I've yet to meet her face to face.
Yeah. She moved from California to Georgia. Smart lady. Yeah. So. Well, we wrap it up, Mark. Let's wrap her up, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's call it a night. Let's
You
either get some pizza from Eric Bam. Let's call his place, and
All right.
I want him knocking at my door, man.
We'll close it out with our corporate sponsor, ASEA.